Hello there, lovely people of the Ethernet. How do you do? And welcome back to the case of the Golden Idol. We have a problem, and you can see it on your screen right now. We can continue the main campaign, we can continue the first DLC, or we can continue the second DLC, because some fucking idiot just played the second DLC without fucking recording it. Or, much rather, with OBS open, thinking they are recording it, but not actually recording it. So, you've seen these two played, and you have not seen this one played, and I think leaving without this one on the channel would be strange. Replaying it doesn't really make sense. It is a puzzle game, I already know the solutions. So instead, we're just gonna look at it. So in case you have, not played the game for whatever reason, you can check it out, and maybe if you have played the game already, you just want to hear my thoughts about it, I guess. So this is more of a wrap-up than any actual play, I say. So let's view our little cutscene first. It is too dangerous to approach the island in the storm, post Radiant Raja. We must. I am out of time. I hear and obey. He's an idiot, the Raja. Because indeed, the guy is right. We crash here on the beach. Ship is crashed over here. We have this guy, who you might remember, he is the priest. He has a few letters about what happens. You're the sword master, and he's the prince. And these people, based on this Lemurian work club, are Lemurians. And then what we can do is we can click up here to change what time we're in. Let's change to the middle time first. And we can see the village, where they're hanging out and they're doing stuff. There's weird letters up on the wall. He explains that this thing, every adult has to work. These guys are hanging out. He's not a big fan of working. But wait, this guy doesn't work, right? I've seen that. Yeah, he's not seen this guy do anything. They're playing with gems, and they have the pictures of what is happening. And then these guys are the, the village elders. They're guardians of different things, and they're talking about stuff. So what do we have to think about here? Well, we have to learn the names of the people. We have to learn who does what. So this guy is essentially the speaker for the males. She is the speaker for the children. She is the speaker for the females, and he is the speaker for, doing the work. Then, if we have the tiles, then the brute banishes the Lemurian ancestors. They come here, and the dweller emerges from the tower, killing everyone. And then the sentinel discovers community protection, so he discovers a way to get rid of him. So Sutul, oh yeah, right. And before we go to the last thing, that is what happens here. This guy walks up and dies. Because over here is a weirdo with the idol. So, it would appear there's someone living in this tower, killing people, probably using the suck life function, yeah, decrease matter lifespan, that we learned about in the main game, to live eternally. And they're going along with, because it's the ancient myth that they know. Sutul Vaitu went to the tower, spoke the incantation. Whenever the dweller endangers the community, the sentinel banishes the dweller. After the incantation was spoken, the gold idol was used to reduce Sutul's lifespan. So, yeah, that's a simple little introduction. Sutul lived like a sentinel and died like a true sentinel. Now I must ask who's ready to take his place. This is my chance. I must. As the only royal present, it is clear that I should take the title of sentinel. And so he does. And I'm pretty sure when you get here, this is how it begins. You see him dead. He has a bunch of baskets of stuff that was given to him. Everyone has a wooden block. A few people have a half wooden block. Is something you quickly discover. There's a window. There's fish. This guy's fishing. She has the other half wooden block to someone else. Over here, they're guarding the huts with the sentinels in it. The vampire is still hanging out. That's what you discover here. Here, then, you discover that this is basically like... This looks like an etch and sketch. Like basically, that is used to display what is here. And it's threatening the sentinel. These two are talking, and they have the... No, right. She has the wooden block, and he has the wooden block. So she has it, and he has it. That's becoming important. And then later, she has a half wooden block, and currently she has a whole one. He's hanging out, having a good time. Tonight I will meet you at last, my golden-haired beauty. Because yes, he's really abusing the situation, and he's using her to send her basically to have sex with him. Which is, you know, fucking great. Over here is the vampire, continues stuff. It's like, oh, he's asking for gifts and everything, and everyone is sending him stuff. And then going fully back to the beginning. This is them talking about... And he's like, oh, I will crush the dweller, and something like that. Hangs out here. Burrell earns. And they're hanging out here, and she's like, the women hate me, Kula invents new lies about me, I cannot take it. But someone has agreed to help me. So, what happens here? How did he die? What happens? Well, one of the important things is kind of check out this. You look at the one with the square. Here it is closed. And here it is overflowing with yellow, so someone broke that open. And so I sort of combined, well, he didn't actually die. Well, he did die, much rather, but this is not him. And his real body was most likely tossed out and given to these guys, because they're, you can discover here, they're meat-eating fish. There you go. So you have to kind of combine who was sending what. You have to combine that she's actually sending her, because Kula became indebted to him. That's what the wooden blocks show. But then Sahila suddenly becomes indebted to Lavu Mata. Someone stole the bones of a sentinel, and someone put sedative in the honey. Well, the honey was a gift by Lavu Mata. So, yeah, Lavu Mata didn't want him to fight against the sentinels, and instead she hid in a basket. This time. Here. Oh, here. There's a sack in it. So she hid in a basket and she killed him. And then, yeah, she had the dead sentinel here. And everyone became really afraid of the tower dweller. They're like, oh my god, he can leave his tower and kill people if you don't do what he says. They're like, why would Lavu Mata really want things to be like that? Your actions endanger our commune, Zubiri. I'm sorry, but we have to isolate you. So they throw him in prison. And then... it lags. There we go. And then we start here, usually on this screen. Like, what happened here? And then we go up here and we're like, oh, wow. Yes, the idol. And there's a hole here and everyone's hanging out. Oh my god, what happened? Someone escaped from prison. And the vampire, who apparently was a robot, is dead. Incredible. But he's still alive here. Zaviri is still in prison here. And he's telling her commands in Old Lemurian about how the thing works. Because this is a robot, and you give it commands. And over here, we have the book, which, as I understand, I guess was written by Zubiri or something like that. I'm not 100% certain on how everything is supposed to work, but the point is, he discovered like what the commands are, and usually the people, they walk up and they say, like, take matter lifespan, and then obviously, if we look here, it usually says Gana bringat bol bazur, which is take, I think, yeah, take matter lifespan, and then someone says Tigana brin bat bol bazur, so someone takes the lifespan always back. And in the end, there's some extra things, which will be important later. Over here is everyone hanging out. He's impressing people with his magic powers. He's making a bomb, because they want to destroy the Tower Dweller because they want the idol, of course. That's why they're here. And everyone is sort of unsure about that. And he is like, oh, I bought a piece of rope. And then, of course, later you see the piece of rope, so we can combine that it was Jayan who saved Zubiri. And the boys here have this interesting thing. Good questions, can I help you? Bad questions, how can this work? Bad questions, how old are you? Ooh. Why shouldn't you ask that? Well, it's because this woman, the leader of the children, she is the one who would always take the lifespan, and she's teaching the children the ancient ways, so that the children always grow up how she wants it, so that the ancient ways can be preserved, aka she can live forever. That is all the stuff you find out. The golden idol would target the speaker of voice commands. These are the voice commands. So a long time she found the idol, and it could use the voice command, so she used the myth of the Tower Dweller to make people give it their lifespan, and then she would take their lifespan for themselves. Then the ship arrives, the foreign visitors bomb the Tower Dweller and are rewarded with riches, but then Lavu had already used the give idol command and had obtained the idol for herself, and Javan released Zubiri. Then the guys, of course, the foreigners, Oberon and Maudsley, were unhappy around Lavu having the idol, so they tried to take it after she tried to kill them. Javan disarms her, Zubiri takes the idol, and Oberon take Kula hostage and force them to give them the idol. So that's what just happened here. They're like, give me the idol, he gives it to them, she is saved, and the bridge is blown up. And everything concludes. Zubiri, we want you to replace Mata in the council and share your knowledge with the village. He's becoming too powerful. Perhaps I should stop him before it is too late. But wait, he can read my mind. He already knows I have these thoughts. I have no choice. I have to act now. I think that's really funny. That, like, clearly Oberon cannot read minds, right? Like, he's a smart dude, sure. But, like, he's doing parlor tricks. And whatever his name was. Albert. I was like, Alphonse? No. Albert is completely bought into it, which is very funny. Now, these puzzles were really good, which I'm very sad that you're not getting to see. But also, especially in the last puzzle, the UI really got on my nerves. Like, essentially this game has two parts to it, right? It has this part where you're clicking around, you're looking, the exploring, and it has the thinking. I mean, it's literally two modes of thing. And dragging in stuff, dragging over stuff, it all feels very sluggish, and I don't enjoy it. What I also hate is like, Lavu Mata, Lavu Mata, Lavu Mata, take Meta lifespan, target speaker voice command, target speaker voice command, make Meta lifespan. Like, so much stuff that you have to drag over fucking 20 times, and it is very annoying. I'm also not 100% certain, like, why some things I have to put in here, or why it can't be easier and some of them follow from each other. I don't know. Maybe for other people it is actually helpful, but for me at least, this last puzzle especially was very sluggish in the end. Like, I just spent 5 minutes putting in things I already knew. Basically just demonstrating to the game that, yes, I know, I figured it out. Also, this is Monkey Paw Island. This is the one island off. These are the two islands off. And so this is where Albert is gonna murder Oberon, setting off the curse of events that leads to Edmund's death. Now, what I think is very fascinating, because I looked it up, Mary apparently was added into the game somewhat late, so that's why she's not much of a character, really. Because they didn't want Edmund to have a grandiose end, which I love That's so fucking funny. Like, he's just one of these corpses. You can't tell who he is. It is a pathetic, anticlimactic end, and it is very much on purpose, because Edmund is a fucking prick. And I love that. It's very fun. Yeah, I love this game. I'm definitely gonna play the second game. I may wait around a few weeks, see if it ever goes on sale, because I'm not the richest person in the world. But yeah, for the time being, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little look over. Just hanging out, enjoying some of my thoughts. What was my favorite puzzle? That's perhaps interesting. I like this one. I like the aspect of having to figure out the rank and clans by their masks. I really like these two. I think the DLCs start very off stronger. With this one being alright. The one part I don't like about this one is in this part, like, adding in all of the people. Like, has anyone ever played this game and not put in the people first and then done the other stuff? Because if I could just click on Oberon's face and drag it over here, that would be so much easier. Assuming I had completed this. Like, I couldn't just drag in their faces, but I would have to drag in their names. Or might even just drag in their faces or something like that. I think that would be much more nice. I'm interested to see how the sequel is going to handle that. But yeah, I think I like this one. The whodunit aspect was very nice and fun. And I also like this one. It's just a very interesting self-contained little story with a few fun things to notice. I like the decoding based on the statue. Getting the first letter of all of the words that are related to the statue. That's a fun aspect. Yeah. Well, I think, yeah, for the time being, that is it. I wish all of you a good night. And bye-bye. I'll see you around.